love the game. I love the hustle, man.
Kendrick Perkins. He was saying that Deaaron Fox can be a dark horse. He believes could be a dark horse for the MVP, runnings, or be a candidate for the MVP award the following NBA season. I'm gonna kick it to Teddy White. Let's go to you, man. What's your thoughts on that? Then we're gonna go to Dope Boy after that, and I'll kind of, y'all know how I do. I'll kind of chime in after y'all. So Teddy White, talk to me, man. Is Deaaron Fox a dark horse for the MVP?
I can't even argue with it. I like it. I like it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. That was not my dark horse pick, but you know what? He put it on my mind, and I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
You know what? A long stretch, I'm gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? It could be a far shot, but is it possible? Absolutely. I mean, he averaged 25 points last season, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, my guy was shooting over 51%. But he's definitely going to have to boost those points up. He's going to have to boost this.
25's a lot. What, he got average 30?
Close to
25 points is a lot of points. That's a lot.
25 is a lot.
That's a lot of NBA points.
You know what? Yes, it is for the B tier players. That is a lot.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean? This is the guy that's the man of the team.
Okay.
I need 29,
Definitely
30.
All right.
You know what I mean? Now we up there with the Giannis. If you see the last couple MVP races, has been the same 3, you know what I mean? 3 to 5
Giannis,
guys.
Embiid, Jokic, Embiid. Giannis,
I had Luka in there, maybe a Bron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he could definitely do it. Kings are definitely going to have to stay in that somewhere between that 3 and 4 range for him to stay in that MVP race.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or even to be mentioned in it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's my opinion. How he ended the playoff season, he needs to come in just like that.
Definitely.
Dope Boy Bush, what's your opinion? Can Deaaron Fox be a dark horse MVP candidate?
I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb on this one.
We kind of touched on this before we started recording, right? And I heard what you said. Right. I kind of heard what you were as you were taking your notes. I kind of heard what you was over there rumbling. But the Teddy White, did he just convince you, man? What's your thoughts, man? Can Deaaron Fox be an MVP candidate?
Did Teddy White go ahead and convince me?
Did he convince you?
I would say no.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
I like the fact that he was averaging 25, 4, 6, and 1. You know what I mean? Which is good numbers. For sure, but he's, you compare him to a Joel Embiid that was averaging 33. Jokic, unfortunately, he was averaging a little bit more than Jokic. Jokic was at 24.5. So I, to kind of disagree with what you were saying, since as far as he needs to go ahead and average 30, I really don't see it. He can probably stay around that pocket of maybe 25, 24 a game, just considering what Jokic did, and then Giannis at 31.1. The reason why I said that is probably definitely a no, because the Sacramento Kings don't really get enough airtime for everybody to actually pay attention to what he does and his body of work.
Great point.
On the court.
Great
you know
point.
what I mean?
Great
If he was on, some of these, nightly games that are on TNT, ESPN, or ABC a lot more, versus showing us the regular, same 6-5 teams, every day and, day in and day out, it makes it kind of hard for people to really gravitate towards seeing that as an option. Now, if they start giving them more airtime and he does have the same productive year that he had last year and maybe a little bit, more, then yeah, we can go ahead and throw him in the conversation to possibly being an MVP. But right now, just based on, because they are in a smaller market, they really haven't made any noise in I don't know how long. This is their first year in how many years has it been since they made the playoffs?
16? Was it 16 seasons?
16, yeah. So 16 years since they, made the playoffs. Now, what he did do once he got on the big stage, he made everybody else pay attention to who he was, and made everybody pay attention to who the Kings were too as well. So as long as he can keep that body of work up, and maybe Kendrick Perkins and somebody else can go ahead and get in there and talk about him a little bit more, then maybe we can go ahead and say, hey, look, you know what? Brody got a good chance of getting in there. But right now, just based on from what I've been seeing and the fact that they don't show them on TV enough as far as the Sacramento Kings go, it's going to be relatively hard for him to make a case to be in that bracket or that echelon of saying, hey, look, I'm MVP. Look at me.
You made a great point.
So that's one.
You made a great point when you talked about the lack of national games and
Yes, for sure.
eyes that are on the Sacramento Kings from a weekly, let's just say a weekly perspective, because the media votes for the MVP, right? So
Definitely.
yeah, they'll probably get maybe 2, maybe 3 national games, and maybe on TNT late in the season might get like a ESPN couple Friday night games or something like that. But they're not going to get a whole lot of games. We all know who we're going to see. We're going to see the Knicks, Lakers,
Yes.
Boston, Philly,
Yes.
Clippers. Those are the teams we see every single year.
Warriors.
And that's why League Pass makes so much money, because people don't just want to watch those teams all the time. Especially when you're in a different market, you kind of want to see the teams that you're battling with, that are in your division, your conference, things like that, in your area. You know what I mean? You want to see those teams in those games. So I do feel like that's going to affect them. Now, I'm going to say maybe. Teddy White says yes. You said no. I'm going to say maybe he can be. But I think it depends on a lot of different things. Well, like you said, and I do agree with you, Dope Boy. I feel like he could average around that same thing, 25 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
4 rebounds, 6 assists. He could have that same stat line, but what I would like to
Yes.
see go up are his 3-point percentage and his steals.
Steals.
If those two things can go up, I think that would help his case. Also, too, the Kings have to win more games. You got to get in that 50 range. You know what I mean, to be considered MVP, because if we look at the records of Philly, the Nuggets, and I think Milwaukee, so Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, they were all in the 50 range, I believe, of winning games. Is that correct? If we could look that up real quick.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, look that up. I'm pretty sure they all won 50 plus games. Kings were around what, 40? How many again?
43.
Somewhere. Yeah. So you gotta win. You gotta get to that 50. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm gonna say if the Kings can get to 50 plus games and he averages that same stat line, maybe average more steals and get that 3-point percentage up, that's where I say yes, he could be a dark horse MVP candidate. Definitely.
Milwaukee had 58 games when they won. Denver had 53.
And Philly had
And
what?
then Philly had 54.
See what I mean?
Kings have,
And
did they have 43?
And the Kings had 48.
48.
So they
had 48.
So I just feel, I don't feel like anybody who is not winning and not in that 50 range, you're not
Right.
You're not going to get MVP. So got to get up there in the wins, improve your defense,
Definitely.
and improve that 3-point percentage. So I mean, but it's an interesting topic. I like the fact that they're even talking about it on the national scale, because the first place that I saw it was Kendrick Perkins on ESPN. So
Right.
and then, we kind of started talking about it regionally and locally after that.
Definitely.
But that started from a national conversation. So we're on the radar, man.